you see the end product, but part and parcel of that are miles and miles and miles of film on the cutting room floor, and I think that's what our practice is about. You know, it's we can make mistakes. Let's not get hung up on them. Let's learn from those mistakes and talk about it with each other and look at each other's practice.
And if you come into our staff room, it's very much a, oh my God, that was rubbish we've just done. And people are open and they will say if something's gone terribly or if something's gone really well. And I think we're quite lucky really that we do that in our staff room quite a lot.
And we train. We do put an awful lot into training. You know, we'll send people away for the weekend if somebody feels there's a school they want to visit up in the northeast. We'll send somebody up there, and our local authority is diminished now. Does so little, so we've got to go further afield and work. We even work abroad, which is absolutely fabulous because that's important for our own professional development too. And we have a lot of visitors come to our school. They come on our study days to see what this Mantle of the Expert thing is and what it is in practice. So it's part and parcel. The teachers at school hated it at first, but now it's. I mean, you still get a bit of nervous tension, and that's a good thing. But you know, we have 30 visitors once a term coming into our school and having a whole day in the school, being immersed in it, working with the children, watching the observations, watching the teachers, doing workshops, having a bit of lunch. So it's been a very interesting approach to implementing it, this whole idea of no failure, but done with the best interests of the children, because that's what it's been about. Our unwritten mantra for our school is, what more can we do for our children? Because they are those children that Dave was on about at home. When they're at home, they are the ones who they learn from the swearing, the domestic violence, the alcohol, the drugs, and all those other things. And this really, you can take these away. I've got some of them for you. We thought about the importance of engagement. So this was about a year in. We looked at the different ways we found it's been working. So using context to learn, the relevance of the learning, being a humanising curriculum, creating confident and independent thinkers. And I think that's one thing we've really noticed with the children, is they become far more confident, far more independent. They'll talk, they'll share their ideas. The spiritual, moral stuff as well, and opening minds. And obviously we have to keep an eye on the raising literacy levels. I'd be mad as a head if I wasn't bothered about that. Achievement is so important. So instead of those numbers, we think our children are now curious. Jackie's a curious boy. George is cooperative, got confident. Tyler is very expressive regularly and extremely communicative. So we've got speculative, happy, effervescent learners in our school, and that's what we were really after. So 4 years on, the parents are involved, and we run workshops for them. And this dad, I think he's something with all our degrees and all the rest of the stuff that we've got. And then this dad who does a bit of plumbing every now and then, he sums it up far better than I could in 2 years of thinking.
Okay, then if we Mantle, what I've discovered, Mantle explore the world outside of their own bubble basically, and to give them more information, go in so many different directions, also respect everything that everyone else does outside of their world to make their world better. It's kind of a rolling, I think the book Pay It Forwards for instance, where good things, if you do good things might come back to you. So there you go, that's what I've discovered from it.
So his point is that it's very much the children working in an imaginary world, which Tim was speaking about earlier. But they come out of that imaginary world to reflect on it regularly. So it's not one long play. They don't perform for time. It's moments that they can learn from using drama and inquiry.
And the children go home and talk about their learning, don't they, which we didn't ever see before. And parents' evenings, the parents would say, oh, they don't talk about school and the soon as we started doing Mantle, the children, most of the children were talking about it at home, and parents were coming to the door. What's this Mantle thing? And at first they were a bit like, oh, what is it? But to see and to hear them going home and talking to their parents about their learning was really, really great for us.
And the DFE picked up on it because we get shed loads of pupil premium. We have to spend it and be shown to be using it effectively. So David Laws was very interested in what Mantle of the Expert was. So he came to our school and spent a few moments in it. He met a couple of our parents, and then our caretaker, who was a photographer, just caught him off guard, and he was looking where he shouldn't have been, Mr. Laws. The mum's not seen that picture. We work with Palestine as well. It makes us sound like some kind of Marxist republic of rebellious people, but the politics of it doesn't interest us. But we go out to Palestine, work with Palestinian schools, and work in Palestinian schools with a foundation, and they come back and work in Woodrow as well. So that's been a wonderful experience for our children to meet. They talk about the Palestinians. They talk about the Palestinians. When are the Palestinians coming? It's fabulous. So we have the Palestinians, and we've been out there lots of. I've been fortunate to have gone out there 6 or 7 times, and it's just a quite wonderful place. It's not. When the first time we were going, I said to the teachers who agreed to come, I said, look, I don't know what you're doing on Monday after school, but if we could get measured up for all of our flak jackets, that's the first thing we'll need. And they sort of looked at me, is that really? And we just have a marvellous time there. We really do. So I grabbed a couple of teachers as well in their PPA, interrupted them, and just asked them to very briefly talk to you about the difference that they'd seen as teachers.
Sorry to interrupt your PPA, I do apologise, but we've got a couple of minutes to fill in this workshop because we haven't had quite as many questions as we thought we might. So I was just wondering about Mantle. How is the school different 4 years on from having done Mantle from then to now?
I think if we think in particular about the children's learning behaviours and the way our children behave in relationship to their learning, that has changed remarkably since they started. Sarah and I have been here a long time to know what they were like before Mantle was introduced.
They're so much more independent. They take a real charge in their learning. It's not something that's done to them, it's done with them. They take a real, they're really motivated and engaged, and they want to know what's going to happen next, and they feel that they've got real control over how and their learning.
Yeah, I think they feel they're responsible for constructing the curriculum with the teacher and driving that forward in the direction it takes, rather than us always leading what we're going to be learning next.
They've got a real want to learn attitude now, rather than passive learners. They really want to know what's going to happen next and what's going to be next to learn about.
Children come in now on the first day after the holidays and what's our next Mantle going to be? What are we going to be learning about? They're just dying to know. Their learning is so much more purposeful now than I think it used to be. It has meaning to them. It's all got a reason for doing everything.
They take their learning home with them a lot now as well, and parents, our parents and people, just in general conversation, know what the children are learning, and they're going home and talking about it more than they ever did.
We get fantastic homework now that we never used to get, that the parents seem to. Yeah, it's gone right out to the community.
Thank you very much. And one final request. What's that name of that bar in Leeds, Sarah, that is meant to be worth going to, just so that people can know?
The Alchemist, very good cocktails.
Thank you very much. I'll let you get on.
So if you take nothing else away from it, The Alchemist. It's called The Alchemist. And I thought I'd give the final word really to Reese. Before I do that, if you'll indulge me by playing my favourite game. My favourite game is called Heads and Tails. I've got a couple of prizes because this workshop has been sponsored by Mantle Breweries. And I've got 2 bottles of beer. That's the only reason Daniel came. But this beer is marvellous. It's actually called Mantle beer. And a friend of mine found it in Wales. So I've got 2 bottles of Mantle beer up for grabs. No other workshop will give away beer. Will it? So my favourite game is called Heads and Tails. So a game called Heads and Tails. I flip a coin, put hands on your heads, hands on your tails. If I flip the coin, it's heads. All those with their hands on the heads go through to the next round. All those with their hands on the tails sit down. So all stand up. All the Methodists will be horrified. Right, so you put either your hands on your heads or on your tails. You choose. I'll flip the coin. So on your heads or your tails. Okay, Daniel, I'll get you through it. So all those with their hands on their tails stay standing. So can you put your hands on your heads or on your tails? Choose. Might be different. Okay. All those with their hands on their heads, can you sit down? So you've won a bottle of Mantle beer. So it's a Mantle beer for you. Some people think it is that drama stuff. They do. They talk about that. It's not. And it's not performance. It's an opportunity for children to use dramatic inquiry to support their learning. And using dramatic inquiry has given the children an opportunity to speak for themselves, has given the chance for the staff to speak for themselves, and the community to speak for itself, because it is a very, very challenging community with huge, huge issues. And they're very proud of the school that's in the middle of it, because the school in the middle of it has visitors from Japan, America, Spain and Palestine and the rest. So we're really proud of what we've done, and it's not been one that's been done unto. Because I say it's about, I think management really should be about being nice and getting on with people, because I think that's how we can get the best out of people. So I think you see all these books about management and all the rest of it. Just be nice. That's really what you should do. Just be nice. You can get people to do things by being nice. So if I can get a book deal from Crown House later on, my book's going to just be called Be Nice. It'll be blank. So I'm going to hand over to Reese, who's magic. Reese came to our school. He had huge, huge problems when he came to our school. He was in care. He had all sorts of issues going on. But Reese is with a wonderful family now, and he's just the best. He's in year 4, but he should be a year 5. Can you just tell us about Mantle a bit? About doing Mantle?
Well, I do enjoy it most of the time. My favourite thing about it is like just making and like making films about it, because I do like going on the iPad and stuff in school.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like making and drawing, and I have really enjoyed Mantle. Yeah, but some other times it is a bit boring when I have to sit down all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that does hurt my legs a little bit.
Yeah.
But apart from that, Mantle's been really good and I've enjoyed it.
What about all the drama stuff?
The drama, I like the drama and I like the freeze frames. I like sometimes I like it when we talk to objects and stuff.
Yeah.
Like when Mrs. Hinton pretended to be the Piper.
Yeah. What sort of questions did you ask her then?
Well, we asked